My dear friends, I hope everyone is staying healthy and safe. Since we're not able to celebrate Eucharist together this weekend, I wanted to share with you my homily for this Sunday's readings. I hope all of you will have the opportunity to read them and to pray in thanksgiving to God for all the blessings God has given us, especially the gift of Jesus who makes all love possible, while at the same time praying that we will be delivered from the coronavirus and the sufferings caused by it. Today's gospel story of the man born blind speaks to us on two levels. On one level, it is a story of a man born blind being cured of his blindness. Today's gospel and next Sunday's gospel, the raising of Lazarus from the dead, are two of the most important miracles Jesus worked. They, more than his other miracles, revealed him as the Son of God. As the man born blind pointed out, it is unheard of that anyone ever opened the eyes of a person born blind. He would later profess faith in Jesus and worship him. In next Sunday's gospel, Lazarus had already been in the tomb for 4 days before Jesus raised him from the dead. At the end of next Sunday's gospel, we are told that many of the Jews who saw what he had done began to believe in him. Second, Jesus took this opportunity to challenge his disciples' belief that the man's blindness was caused by any sin of him or his parents. Even today, some people believe, and some religious traditions teach, that when bad things happen to people, God is punishing them for their sins. Equally, some people believe the correlative. When good things happen to people, God is rewarding them for their goodness. We may remember that some people saw the tragedy of 9/11 as evidence of God's judgment upon contemporary American society. The same is happening now regarding the coronavirus. This past week, I read an article listing the multitude of sins in the contemporary world for which God might be punishing us. It is certainly true that our sins and bad choices often bring bad consequences. However, this does not mean that God is punishing us with them. We know, for example, that bad things often happen not only to good people, but even to the best people. Jesus' own death is the best evidence of this. He was completely innocent and without sin, yet suffered a terrible death. On another level, the story of the man born blind is the story of a man spiritually blind gaining spiritual sight. Jesus told his disciples that as long as he was in the world, he was the light of the world. Spiritual sight then depends on belief in Jesus. When I was at St. Malachy, parents of First Communicants had to attend 3 sessions to help them prepare their children for First Communion. Every year, Sister Edward Ann reminded them that we have 2 sets of eyes, our physical eyes and our eyes of faith. To believe in Jesus' real presence in the Eucharist, for example, we have to see with eyes of faith. To see with eyes of faith is to see God's presence, power, and activity within and among us in every event and experience of our lives and world, and in all of history and creation, even in the midst of the coronavirus, its restrictions, and its consequences. Our first and second readings offer 2 practical insights. In his letter to the Ephesians, Paul talks about works of darkness. One test we can apply to our choices is whether we would want others, especially those whom we love or who love us, to know about them. If not, this is good indication that they are not good choices. In today's first reading, God warned Samuel not to judge by appearances. Not as man sees does God see, because man sees the appearance, but the Lord looks into the heart. If we're honest, we all judge by appearances. For example, Stephen Covey has made the point that since the early 20th century, capacity for leadership has been measured more by personality than by character. More importantly, since God alone knows the secrets of the heart, we're not qualified to judge people at all. My brothers and sisters, you're always in my thoughts and prayers, especially when I celebrate Mass daily. I miss celebrating Mass with you. Stay healthy, stay safe.